Translation is a subjective and interpretive process, and even well-intentioned translators can introduce biases or inadvertently make mistakes. Well, he has made spelling mistakes, etc., but he didn't want it to be filled up with biases, his biases, etc., etc. He didn't want to introduce the biases, as it says here. Therefore, it remains valuable to consult other sources and perspectives to ensure a comprehensive and well-rounded understanding of text. There are others like Andrew Gabriel Roth, who's translated from the same apostolic church, the Syriac Eastern Peshitta, but he's, being a Messianic Jew, he's tending to try to merge it with the Hebrew. Okay, he still uses Hebrew terms, like when Christ was on the cross, he cried out, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani." Right? He still clings to the my God, why have you forsaken me?" which is incorrect according to Victor N. Alexander when translated from the original Galilean Aramaic into the nearest English equivalent. He's saying, my God, for real, for sure. But he's saying, why have you left me to my destiny? Okay, maybe God didn't forsake him. Maybe just God didn't seem to be there. It probably broke his heart that his son was crucified up on this cross, right? So momentarily he turns, and he felt alone, as he was actually quoting David, right? David in the Psalms. "Oh my God, why are you not listening to me? Why are you not replying? Why aren't you helping me?" That sort of thing. That's what it basically is. Okay, he's quoting from David in the Psalms, probably Psalm 1 or 22 or something like that. Additionally, the translation should be subjected to scholarly review and analysis to assess its accuracy, linguistic validity, and alignment with existing knowledge and understanding of the ancient language and culture. Collaborative efforts and discussions among experts in the field can further enhance the quality and reliability of the translation. Yes, true. But they can also be biased and say, well, he's going too deep into it. I don't believe that, what he's saying there, I don't think it says that, right? Ultimately, while the translator's dedication and expertise are commendable, it is crucial to draw upon a range of reliable sources and scholarly consensus to form well-informed conclusions about the translated material. So, if it's coming from that Reformed or the original Apostolic Church of the East, being hidden and preserved for 2,000 years, never messed with, completely intact, verified by once former head patriarchate of that particular church, Ma Isai Shimon, 1957, that when those manuscripts were handed over to the high priest of that particular church from the blessed hands of Thomas, this is according to what Isai Ma Shimon had said at that time, then why you could probably go to them, or, you could go to them and they'd back him up, especially that high priest, right? So we put here, underneath in reply, the Apostolic Church of the East High Priest that gave him the Bible-style copy of the original ancient very old Tab Ashret, because he said what he was translated from, maybe the Umayyad Syriac translation, because the American missionaries came in with the KJV and tried to convert those Surai or Syrians to Western Christianity, and there's no grammar at the time, Syriac grammar, so they had to create one, and they completely botched the translation, even though they did manage to convert some of them to the Western Christianity. Again, the Apostolic Church of the East High Priest that gave him, Victor N. Alexander, the Bible-style copy of the original ancient very old Tab Ashret manuscript, could critique him, correcting him if he saw errors, or errors came to his attention, or other flaws at any time if it came to his attention, right? So AI replies, yeah, it's possible that the Apostolic Church of the East High Priest, who provided the translator with the Bible-style copy of the original Tab Ashret manuscripts, could critique the translation and point out any errors or flaws they came across. So like you said, why you translated from that Syriac or Western Peshitta or whatever it was, it's wrong. We don't use that. It's wrong, okay? Here's one here. This is the one that we use. Translate that. As a custodian of the manuscripts and someone with knowledge and expertise in the subject matter, the High Priest would have valuable insights to share. He doesn't go into great detail, Victor N. Alexander, but the guy could have helped him, right? These insights could help ensure the accuracy and the integrity of the translation. It's better when it's a team effort, right? But they should all be agreeing. Okay? One should be saying, well, I'm the dominant, I'm going to try to sway you all to my way of thinking, yours doesn't matter, mine's the one that does, etc, etc, so we'll go with my one. Drop your one and go with my one. And then we've all got to agree, synchronise. All that information has to synchronise. Usually with 3 different people, not related, right? That you've met before. So one would be Victor and Alexander, probably someone in the Apostolic Church of the East, and probably one other. Maintaining an open and collaborative relationship with religious or historical authorities is often essential for producing accurate translations of ancient texts. Engaging in a dialogue with the high priest and seeking their guidance and corrections, if necessary, would contribute to the translator's ongoing efforts to improve the translation and address potential inaccuracies. So if they had this Eastern Peshitta and this modern dialect, and they're basically reading all from these ancient scriptures to their members of their church through their liturgy, and he found that way to translate what they deem or consider, or deem more, that it's an old language, nobody speaks it anymore, or maybe it's old people here do, but they can't translate it into English for you because they don't know English themselves. Okay, most of those older people are dead, but there are the few that can still speak that old language. So it's not a completely dead language, apparently. There's still those odd few that can speak it, but they can't speak English. They can't help you in English. Okay. Okay, we just thought it would be funny and say thanks AI. I love asking you as I don't get people trying to overrun my research and making claims without links to their claims, etc. and acting like a spoiled brat deprived of their daily lolly by their parents in the supermarket and having tantrums. And then ask it, bit of humour, will you marry me? I'm sorry, but I'm not capable. Okay, getting married, so I'm a language model. Yeah, we're just joking around. Okay, so if you like this video and this explanation, the difference between your modern Americanized modern English Bible versions and the Tav Asherut, the Tav Ivri, etc., what we've covered about the Sabbath and so forth, then subscribe to our channel, give us a like for this, and add your comments below the video, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as we can, or when we can, as soon as possible. And then go share this with all your family, friends and others, so they will know the real truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, exactly what the scriptures say from the original Galilean Aramaic or Tav Asherut, the Shana Articus of Prayer. So they won't ever have confusions, right? They won't even be lied to. They'll go, come on, man, yours is like 1611 and it's in Shakespeare speak. I can't understand the damn thing. It's Romeo and Juliet. Come on, man. And what you're saying, no, that doesn't say it there, because, you know, I'm intelligent, i.e. you. I have a brain. I'm allowed to speak out and say, hey, that doesn't seem right. And so forth. Okay? Because you need to work out your own salvation. Okay, you need to come to your own understanding. Not saying ignore that scripture that says don't trust your own understanding, right? But if you read these through our videos, these original ancient, very old Tav Asherut, Old Testament manuscript translations into English, nearest English equivalent, and also the Galilean Aramaic into the nearest English equivalent, right? Then you won't have any problems there. You'll know, you'll come to realise, wow, I didn't have to go ask questions because this person has explained it all to me. It's like, yeah, okay, I can relate to that. It's like, wow, simple, no confusion there. The only confusion there would probably be when we use the name Ishor Mashika or Maya Alaha or that sort of stuff, because that's the Syriac, the Aramaic, right? And you aren't familiar with that. But it basically means Jesus the Messiah, Jesus the Christ. What's that? Ishor Mashika or Ishor Mashika or Yoshua Mashika is Jesus the Messiah, i.e. because Christ was Greek, right? The word Christ is anointed in Greek or something, right? Christos. Okay, so it was never found in the original Aramaic. Yeah? So he's known as Jesus the Messiah. Like there wasn't a Mr. Christ and there wasn't a Mrs. Christ. Okay, just something, a word given him, because he's anointed by God, right? He's anointed by God. So David was a Christ, but he was anointed by King Saul. There's a difference, great difference here. Yeah. So when we refer to Maya Allah, we're not Muslim or Islam, they're Allah, which is a single monotheistic God. Okay, then they say there's only one God, there's no other, there's no equal, etc. That's a completely different God. That's a monotheistic God. Like the Jews have Hashem, etc., etc. You have Yahweh, which is one God. You have Elohim, which is one God of the. So there's two different factions. There's the Yahwists, and there's also the Elohists, right? Elohimists. Two different factions, right? And then you have Jehovah and all this other stuff, right? Okay. So we bring you the true names of God from this original ancient, very old language, sacred scribal language of God, right? The language that God spoke. Il, E-I-L. So in the names of God. Hiye, Ash, Her, Hiye, I-am-I, another name of God. Maya Allaha or Maran Allaha, Isho Mashika or Isho Mashika, Yosho Mashika, Jesus the Messiah, who had disciples who weren't called Christian. They refused to have that pagan name given to the Romans, borrowed by the Romans from the Greeks. Christos, referring to them as followers of the Christos or the Christos. They chose to, in the Galilean Aramaic, to use the word Mashiach. So that's what we are. Okay? We believe in the Christ, we believe in Jesus, etc., etc., all the scriptures, but we refer to him and refer to ourselves as he's the Messiah, or the Mashiach, or Mashiach, and we are the Mashiach. You understand it? Okay, so anyway, enough of that. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, add your comments below, and take a look at our videos, end screens, which will be what the true Sabbath is, etc., etc. Perhaps a link where you can go and learn what the actual Sabbaths were originally, why there was a breach, and this certain faction repeated. Right? They brought it back to everybody to know that no, your Sabbaths aren't on a set day of the month. Okay, because the Hebrew Israelite calendar was consisted of 29 days. You had the first day, which was of the month, which was representation that there's a new month, a new start. That's when a spotless lamb or ram was sacrificed, was culled, and then the blood of that lamb was sprinkled over the heads of the Israelites for atonement of sins, right? Yeah. So that wasn't a Sabbath. That was a new moon, indicating that there was a new month. And then you would work from that day onwards till the 7th, which was a preparation day. You work 6 days, which would be the 7th according to you. So you use your calendar, your modern calendar, okay, as a reference. So you get to that stage on the 7th of the month. Okay, that's a preparation day. So you do all your work, etc., etc., all your talking, whatever, and then when the sun sets, that's indication of the Sabbath coming up, which is on the 8th. Okay, and then you do the same process. A Sabbath, the preparation day would be the 14th, as in Exodus, Nisan the 14th, as an example. And then that's the preparation day. And then the 15th would be that Sabbath, and then the process would happen again. The 21st would be the preparation day. The 22nd would be that Sabbath. The process goes on again. So you would have the 28th of the month as preparation day, and the 29th would be that Sabbath. Okay, so that's the end of the month. But they always had this one day, a spare day. Okay? They'd have it's 29 days in the month, but they always have a spare one. So if you looked at the night sky on the 29th and you saw the crescent moon, that's an indication of a new month coming up, right? Which would be the 1st. Okay? The next day would be the 1st of that new month. But if you couldn't see it because it was too dark, we just couldn't see it at all, couldn't see the moon, right? Then you have an extra day. So when you see that crescent moon, that's the indication of a new day, a new month. Sorry. Okay, it's all significant. It's all there. It has a sign, right? You got to see the signs to understand, what's to come, right? They're all indications. Okay, then it's like it's flexibility. If you can't see that on that day, you'll see it on the next night. Sorry, if you can't see it that night, you'll see it on the next day. Night. Okay. And plus the Hebrew Israelite Jew calendar was very, very the day is very, very different. Okay, it's not like our day, our normal day of the week. It still consists of 24 hours, but it's weird. Like 12:01 is our afternoon, but 12:01 to these Israelites, these Jews, is like early evening or something like that, or early morning. It's really, really weird. Well, we consider 12:01 to be early morning, right? So 12:01 during the day to be afternoon. They'd say something like early evening. Yeah, it's just really weird. You have to go to this particular source and study it to understand it. We don't want to confuse you. It's better if you go there and learn it for yourself. Okay, so again, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below, and you go share it with all your family, friends, and others.